Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more R.I.P. continuing Koyo's route. So, we just had our lovely little conversation with him in the, not the hospital room, the nurse's office. And he left us, and he's like, I can't be around her because she makes me lose my resolve to kill Reika, and we'll see how they're gonna handle this. We'll see. I'm okay with us stopping him, like I said in the last part, if we're trying to stop him from killing her just because we don't want him to turn into a wraith, and that's the concern. For that, not for, you need to forgive her. Nah, girl doesn't feel bad about what she did, so. Again, if she felt bad about what she did and she was really, had made amends or something, or was trying to make amends to him, then, okay, fine. But she hasn't, so she deserves no forgiveness or, like, anything from Koyo, so I'm absolutely for him wiping her out of existence. But not if it's going to turn him into a wraith, okay? So I hope that's kind of where they go with it, with, like, us trying to stop him from killing her is more like I'm worried about you and your soul and I don't want you to become a wraith. I'm for that, you know? But otherwise, let's not be a fucking goody two-shoes Mary Sue. Like, no, you can't. It'd be so wrong for you to kill the woman who murdered you. It has no regrets. And absolutely would do it again and kill me and Sana as well and anybody else that ever spoke to you. Like, no, that's fucking crazy, you know? Anyway, I left the nurse's office and headed down the hallway. What you doing? Why you fidgety? Come to think of it, while I was sleeping, classes must have been going on, huh? Speaking of which, I must be getting pretty far behind in my schoolwork. It's been a few days. I know. Why don't I just try to blend in and take some of the classes as a ghost? As I was thinking these things... May I have a moment? Hello, Kureha. Hello. I smiled at the awkward greeting. Yeah, 'cause see what I mean? Like, his is right on his, like, it's red. It looks like blood. I do think it's funny that he's got, like, smoke and, like, fire around him, and I'm not really sure why, but you know what I mean? Like, his looks like, oh, it's where he got stabbed. Oh, it's blood all over him, but that's his bruise, 'cause that's where he was stabbed. So, like, Koyo's got it on his arm, so I'm wondering, like, if she, like, made it look like suicide, you know? Guess he's not really used to talking to people. What is it? I heard you're actually a living ghost. Is that true? Yeah, it is. Oh, so it's true. Well, that's good to hear. Seeing how happy and relieved he was made me feel happy too. I love you, you adorable, adorable thing. Kureha certainly is a kind person. I feel really bad about how I acted when I first met him. Well, because, you know, he's covered in blood, and he's got a sword, and the rumors and the stories you've heard about him are terrifying, but, like, I think that's what's fun about it, is, like, the rumors and everything are terrifying, like, and he's actually just, like, the biggest fucking cinnamon bun ever. That reminds me. By the way, did you hear about me from Koyo? Oh, no, not from Koyo. I heard it from a young woman named Reika. I felt my chest tighten as he spoke. She came here to visit you last night. How did Reika find out about that? Did she overhear the conversation I had with Koyo yesterday? Knowing her, that seemed plausible. Oh, possible. Rather, that would be the only way she'd know. That means she could be nearby right now. I'd tell Kureha she's dangerous. My knees started to tremble. I felt my strength drain out of me and collapsed in fear on the spot. So see, she's even coming after... Okay, she's not going to do anything to Kureha, but she's talking to him. You do not talk to my cinnamon bun. Koyo absolutely should be allowed to fucking kill her. I'm just saying, she is a danger to all of us. Don't you touch my cinnamon bun. Listen, bitch, Spacey doesn't share cinnamon buns. Spacey doesn't share food, which is also 2D men in food analogies. Whatever. Hey, are you alright? Sorry, I'm okay. You know what? You know what? I have the perfect solution for Reika. And it's not Koyo stabbing her to death. Because I'm for that too. But I know the main character probably isn't going to stand for that. And oh no, Koyo, be so bad. Again, unless he's going to turn into a wraith, then I'm fine with her being like, no, don't do it. But I have the perfect solution, and I know some of you were thinking it too. Some of you probably said it, and that's where I heard it. So I got it. Future you has channeled back to past me, and I hear it. Yes, I'm all for it. All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get all our ghosty friends. We're gonna go. We're gonna make fucking Hibiki talk to us, and we're gonna be like, listen, listen, listen. We're gonna need you to fucking terrorize this bitch and like take her out. Now, it's not as good as if she were alive, like I was when I was in the mirror. You know what I mean? And he's like, with Sana. But I'm just saying, Hibiki's cray cray enough that we could be like, Reika had something to do with your murder. Hibiki, she's tied to it. I can't explain to you how. I don't think he'd give a fuck. And we just push her in the mirror and he would just like destroy her. And then we wouldn't have to fucking worry about it anymore. And then, like, it's fine. Hibiki's already crazy, right? And we didn't. He's not gonna turn into a wraith because he's actually really sweet, but psycho. And then we'll just let the little psycho out a little bit, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. He's gotta let his psycho out a little bit, you know. We'll just let his psycho out a little. And then Koyo doesn't have to kill Reika, so we're not all mad at our boyfriend for like killing the girl that killed him. You know what I mean? Which is stupid. We should just let him kill her. And then he won't turn into a wraith, and then Hibiki gets to be like a little crazy and play with he'll have a friend in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Perfect! Perfect! Absolutely! Because, like, you know, Kureha couldn't do it. We'd be like, you have a giant sword. You could run her through, right? And he'd be like, totally appalled at that. So, just saying. Sorry, I'm okay. Well, don't overdo it. Let me give you a hand. You should warn Kureha about Reika. Don't forget. Kureha's words were kind, and I quickly reached out my hand to him. Then, the moment his hand touched mine, Kureha froze in place. Kureha? That that hurts a little bit. Uh, sorry. His hand had been tightly gripping mine as though he were afraid to let go of a long-lost loved one. Oh, don't make me pine for him. It's not his route. He slowly opened his hand to let me go, and I pulled my hand away from him. What's wrong? Oh, no, it's just... That's the first time we've touched. The hand of someone who's alive is so much warmer than that of a ghost. It's been decades since I felt that warmth. Oh, Kureha looks a little cray-cray now. It made me remember what it's like. What it's like to be alive. Now you're telling me... Okay, wait. So in Seina's route, Hibiki was the one going to get a little bit cray-cray, which, to be fair, Hibiki was already a little like that in the School Ghost Stories arc as soon as he touched us. I'm like, I'm going to pull you into the mirror and getting a little psycho, okay? He was already like that. Kureha never fucking once was. And now you're going to do that? It feels a little out of character. And it also feels like, so you're going to make one of the other School Ghost Story arc ghosts be a little obsessed with us, and that's... Because then that just seems like you're rehashing the same plot. Like a similarness to it. And I don't know how I feel about that, but... I saw something almost monstrous in his eyes as he stepped even closer toward me. Kureha! Filled with fear, I called out forcefully to him. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I was relieved to see Kureha's eyes return to normal as he stammered his reply. You should go. Or rather, I should go. He's gone. What was with him just now? Yeah, I'm not gonna like it if Kureha starts chasing us through the school the way Hibiki chased us through the mirror world and whatever, because, like, that's gonna be too similar, and it fit Hibiki's character because he gets a little crazy. Kureha was never like that, so I don't like that you're gonna do that to him. You know what I mean? It seems a little... And this seems a little out of place right now, but... As a living ghost, I seemed to possess some kind of warmth that he was attracted to. On the other hand... Perhaps because Sana thinks he's still alive, him touching me had no effect on him. What about when Koyo and I touched? Maybe it's like with Sana. He convinced himself I was a ghost, so it didn't impact him? With what happened with Kureha, maybe touching ghosts is actually quite dangerous. There were a lot of ghosts inside the school, so I quickly left. I mean, if it was just like, oh, a little plot thing to get you to leave the school instead of hanging out, sure, I guess, but it also still feels a little out of character. Rika certainly gave me the creeps, but I gained nothing by being scared of her. With that in mind, I went out in search of Sena like I always did. Though perhaps I should have been focusing on getting back to my original body. Now, I made a promise to visit with Sena every day. It was because of me that he was able to remember things slowly, day by day. Given the time, he should be by the train station now. The first thing I saw was Sena looking thoughtful, standing alone near the station. Good afternoon, Sena. Hmm? Ah, that uniform. You're Spacey, right? Wow! He spoke with a look of confidence, and my eyes widened with surprise. He remembered me. I don't know if he remembered you, but Reika, maybe... Yeah, that's right. I'm Spacey. Sena stared back at me, confused. You've come to ask about Koyo, right? Huh? Well, he's not here. Sena continued to stare at me with a troubled face. Why is he looking at me like that? I feel like Reiko's like, there's some girl, she's wearing this uniform, her name is Spacey, and she's chasing my boyfriend, and like, whatever, that's exactly what happened. No, actually, it was the first time he looked at me with such a harsh expression, and I felt very strange about the whole thing. I came to see you, Sena. Huh? Me? I nodded slightly as he spoke. Sena kept staring at me, but then he raised an eyebrow inquisitively. You... No, that can't be. What is it, Sena? Sorry. I just had the strangest feeling. This is the first time we've met, but I can't shake the feeling that we've met before. He remembered my name, but that was all. Still, that's a step in the right direction. Maybe you should question this. This isn't the first time we've met, but I'm glad you remembered my name. Strange, I do feel as though this is not the first time we've met. But I didn't remember your name. Then how did you... I heard about you. You've been stalking Koyo, isn't that right? She said you'd come here asking about him. I felt a grave feeling of foreboding. I'm like, if you mean Reika, that's bullshit. She's the one stalking him. Truthfully, I'm just repeating what that girl told me. If it's not true, I'm sorry. What was her name? I believe it was Reika. She came here and spoke to me just before you did. I felt a chill run down my spine. The fact that she was going around spreading rumors about me filled me with fear. She said she wanted to warn me about a girl with a short bob haircut and wearing a Nari Megahama high uniform. After saying that, she told me your name. So that's why you were looking at me like that before. Yes, terribly sorry about that. After hearing what she said, I was quite upset. If you were bothering Koyo, I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. But I think I get what's happened here. I can see you're not a bad person. You're not at all like what Reika said. Though he was skeptical of me at first, he trusted me enough to tell me what was going on. Perhaps he remembered me slightly, so he was conflicted about the me he knew and the person Reika warned him about. Thank you for believing me. I promise you, though, I'm not the one stalking Koyo. But it wouldn't be right to say I haven't caused him any problems. The truth is, I had undoubtedly caused him to worry a great deal about me. I don't know why I said it, but the words just spilled out, and Sena burst out laughing. You're quite upfront, aren't you? But maybe that's what makes it so easy to believe you. That's really nice of you to say. So then, what's the deal with this Reika girl? Maybe it'd be for the best to tell him everything about her. I think we should. After all, Koyo had told Sena the other day that Reika was dangerous and to be careful around her. Just to be safe, I'll tell him. You should be careful around her. I see. So Reika's the dangerous one, huh? And somehow Koyo's wrapped up in all this. When I nodded in response, Sena's face flooded with worry. Don't worry too much. There are people working to catch her as we speak. I mean, don't worry, she already killed him. It's fine. So it'll be all right. I see. Well, it's good to hear. But it was strange. I kept seeing Reika's shadow out of the corner of my eye. Suddenly I turned around. What is it? Nothing. It's just my imagination. I was restless, constantly looking over my shoulder, wondering when she'd appear. Things keep escalating every time I interact with Koyo. Don't come near him! If you get in the way, I'll erase you! It was like she was speaking those words to me. I hope Koyo's all right. After leaving Sena, I wandered around with no destination in mind. Yet all I could think about was Koyo. Koyo, are you all right? What am I saying? Of course he is. Besides, Seiya's going to catch Reika. Well, that's right. I reached my hand inside my pocket. I should be able to reach Seiya with the cell phone, right? Even though Reika wasn't attacking me or anything like that, maybe I should reach out and let him know what I found out about Reika's movements. But it's not an emergency. What should I do? Ooh, oh no. Did we get a choice? Call or don't? I want to call, but I feel like we shouldn't. You know what I mean? All right. Sorry, Bird. Okay. I'm going to just try to reach over here and not disrupt you. Save file. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I feel like one's gonna... I only have one hand, so I'm very sorry. Okay. So let's see. Call. Okay. Maybe if we don't call, Reika jumps out of the bushes and stabs us. Just to be on the safe side, I better let him know. Calling Seiya. I love this. After some deliberation, I took out the black phone and tapped the emergency call button. Yes, hello. Sorry for calling so suddenly. This is Seiya, right? This is Spacey Ishiki. Huh. Hello? I gave that phone to Koyo. What are you doing with it? Huh? What do you mean? You asked Koyo to give me this phone, didn't you? I see what's happened here. Oops. Let me ask you something. And did he give you anything else to hold on to? No. Is that so? Well, then he's clearly made his choice. It was as though I had pushed the wrong button, and I felt the unease within me growing. You should head back to the nurse's office. I've got something to attend to now. Goodbye. Wait! Ignoring my pleas, Seiya quickly hung up the phone. Okay, so then we're going to find out. So maybe if we don't call, then we don't know that he wasn't supposed to give us the phone if Reika is there. And then, like, Seiya must have given him two things. Like, here you go, this is a knife that you can kill her with, or you could call me and I'll come get her. You know, whatever. And he's like, oh, he made his choice. He's going to kill her. But... so killing her would be bad. Maybe he'll be so enraged and angry it'll turn him into a wraith or something. You know what I mean? Staring at the dark screen, I replayed the contents of the conversation in my head. Did he really not mean for me to have the phone? So the phone for emergency use was actually for... I've got to go! Driven by the anxiety welling up within me, I dashed off to find him. The weird thing is, again, this is going to be like... we are in Koyo's route, and there's going to be like a huge gap of time where we don't see Koyo. Like, okay. Where could he be? Where could he be? I really hope my fears were unfounded. You're the girl from before. Sena, have you seen Koyo? Koyo said he had something to take care of and headed toward the beach. Something to take care of? No, don't tell me. Is Koyo all right? There's no time to talk. I have to go. Like, he's going to kill Reika. By the time I reached the plaza overlooking the sea, the sun had begun to set, staining the whole scene with the color of blood. Then... Koyo's face was twisted with unbridled rage, a knife in his hand. Reika stood facing him, wearing a too bright smile. It made her look out of place. Oh, this is going to be interesting. What are you saying, Yozora? You love me so much you want to kill me? Loving someone so much you want to kill them? I feel the same way about you. That's not normal. Going so far as to prepare a knife for me? It makes me feel so special and sends my heart all aflutter. You see, even when you say you're going to kill this bitch, she takes it as a thing of love. So, like, she crazy, and I don't begrudge him wanting to stab her. I'm just saying. I wonder if you'll feel the same way after I stab you. Koyo! Finally making it to his side, I pulled heavily on Koyo's arm. Don't do this, Koyo! Please stop! Spacey. You again! This was supposed to be our special moment! Why are you ruining it? I won't allow it! I won't allow it! I won't allow it! Rika lunged at me, and in response, stab her. Koyo raised the knife in his hand. It was as though everything happened in slow motion, yet it was all over in an instant. Hey, but he stabbed her to protect us, so I'm okay with that too. See, these kind of like artsy flash things like this. This is what Tim and Ronald used to be in charge of. Well, Tim used to be in charge of. Ronald's relatively new. He wasn't there when Tim was in the art department. Anybody who's new here is going to be very confused, but like Tim and Ronald have been a long-running gag. Well, Tim was the long-running gag of like who we blame for typos. But I don't know how the lore of Tim came about with Tim is a terrible typist and he's who we blame for translations in every game. Doesn't matter the game company, doesn't matter. Tim's involved in all of them. Don't know how he has 14 jobs and he can't seem to manage one of them, but when we played Hakuoki and they had all the little swooshes like this, the bright light swooshes and everything, it was like, see, these were the things Tim was in charge of and he was good at that, making the light swooshes like this. That was Tim's job, and he was good at it. Don't know why they let him do translations and typing. And then they gave him an intern. Jesus. I feel like one of these days someone's going to be watching and I'm going to forget to mention, because I think I try when we start a new game to give the standard spiel, like, I swear I'm obnoxious, I do all the voice acting, and Tim and Ronald are to blame for everything. But I know I think I forgot in the beginning of this one. So there's probably people who are, like, new and being like, who the fuck is Tim? Well, it's just the lore of this channel. We have lore, guys! Are we big time now? Oh my god. Seriously, someone will remember when Tim first made an appearance. I don't know when we first started blaming Tim, but, like, it's been a long time. I followed the trajectory of the knife. Then just as it was about to pierce Reika's flesh... No! I lunged between them. You idiot! Did we just sacrifice ourselves for Reika? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. 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 No, no, no. No. Unless it leads because I'm a living ghost, it makes me actually die and then I get to stay dead with him. Then I'm okay with it. But also, at the same time, I'm not okay with it. Because, wait a minute. You're not trying to protect Koyo in this instance. You are protecting Reika. That is the dumbest fucking choice ever fucking made in a game. You better turn this around and make it fucking worth my while, game. Because, like, right now, this is the thing that I'm pissed about. This makes no sense. There are other things that I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense for the character, but okay, whatever. It's like, Kureha being a little bit psycho over a living ghost and touching me. That doesn't make sense. Didn't really quite, it's like, There was something with Sena and his route where you're like, that doesn't, or maybe I'll kill you. That doesn't seem like a you thing to say. But it's a fleeting, passing, split-second thing where you're like, okay. This makes no motherfucking sense. You were going to jump in the way to stop him from stabbing that bitch. This is not she's coming at him with a knife and you jump in to protect him and you're like, okay, fine. You're protecting her. There is no way you could be like, I'm trying to stop him from like tainting his soul. No! You shove him or grab his arm or something. You don't jump in the way and let him stab you instead. That is stupid as fuck. Stupid. This is I'm running upstairs in a horror movie level stupid. There's a murderer! I'm gonna run upstairs into the attic instead of out the motherfucking front door, which is right behind me. No, I'm gonna run upstairs instead. Stupid! The fuck out! You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Spacey! Seeing as I was a ghost, no blood came spilling out of me. But I did feel a sharp, intense pain from where the knife had sliced my neck. I fell to my knees, the world spinning all around me, and I felt Sena come to support me from the side. Sena must be really fucking confused right now. And beside us... Why did you... Yeah, I want to know that too. With a clank, I heard the knife fall to the floor. How is it clanking on sand? Sure. You, your hands aren't meant to hurt people, Koyo. Then why did you protect Reika, you dumb I mean, I get the sentiment. I do. But jumping in front to stop him from killing Reika is so fucking stupid. Your hands are supposed to help people. It hurt to talk. Ugh, she's so dumb. This is the time where I'm like, this is now the dumbest thing they've made her do. Why? All right, I know. They'll probably turn it around and make this moment is really stupid, but it'll lead to something and be like, all right. I mean, I don't really like how they did this scene, but it made the rest of it make sense. So we'll do our best to give it a chance. But I just think this is a really stupid fucking decision. But we'll see how it works out. Because sometimes a stupid decision leads to like a decent outcome where you're like, all right, that was a stupid decision, and I still don't feel like it's in character for her to try to say. I mean, your hands are meant to. Yeah, okay, but you jumped in front of and stopped him from killing Reika. She is a psychopath, and it's not in the whole entire game. So far, you have felt terrified and terrorized. Oh my God, she's lurking behind me and everything. And then you're like, no, don't kill her. That just feels bullshit to me. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you would try to stop him, maybe knock up the knife out of him and do something. Why did you stop me? Because this. But jumping in front to protect her, just to stop him from seems poor choice. Poor choice. I'm not buying it yet. Again, the route could turn around, but I still think this is a very poor choice and out of character and doesn't make any damn sense. It was a very stupid decision. You tried to stop me from going into the road. You picked me up when I fell down. You were always reaching out to me. That's why I felt hot, but also frigid. Also, we're only in chapter 6, so I'm not really sure. This feels like we're getting a bad end. You know what I mean? Which would make sense if we were, but are we going to end up staying dead? It wasn't like any physical pain I'd felt before. It was though my very existence was fading. Yeah, how? Because I'm assuming this was some kind of magical weapon that Seiya gave him to kill Reika, so her existence was no longer. So now you just did it to me. But I'm a living ghost, so the rules might be different for me versus Reika. But I still am concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to continue a whole route from this? A strange combination of burning cold was draining from the cut on my neck. The words drifted into the darkness. The stunned faces of Sena and Koyo gradually faded out of sight. Wait, this can't be you. It was supposed to be Reika. Reika was supposed to be Yuzoro's first. For a moment I saw Reika's face, her lips trembling as she spoke. You stupid bitch. Then she seemed to see something and darted away. Probably Seiya. Yep, there he is. It looks like I'm too late. I can't fix this here. Unfortunately, it seems we'll have to take her to hell. Hell? No. Well, it's just, now we're in chapter 7. Okay, all right, Seiya to my rescue. But again, we kind of deserve this. We're a dumb fuck who, literally jumped in front of a knife made for Reika. Although it's very interesting that she's like, I was supposed to be. Now she's even more psycho and going to come out. It's going to be even worse. You should have just let him stab the bitch. But then it would have been too easy, I guess. So, I guess still a poor decision to try to further the route, and make Reika stay a problem. Okay. To be fair, if he didn't have this confrontation with her right now where he was going to stab her and it just kind of we're looking for her, it would get very repetitive and you'd be like, can we just, what is going on? They're just dragging it out. So having a confrontation with her where we jump in front of her, okay, whatever. And then she's now going to be even more of a psycho because we're his first kill and she wanted to be. And that makes her even more psychotic. To make her even more dangerous is a little bit better than just dragging out, okay, she's stalking us. She's warning, okay, she's stalking us. Oh, she's stalking him. She's stalking us. Get on with it. You know what I mean? Because, you can only go so far without having a confrontation. So, trying to drag that out for, 4 chapters, right? Yeah. would have been really tedious and over, and you would have been like, are we still doing this? So I get this decision. Like, we have a moment where we have a confrontation that just fuels her to be even more psycho and ups the ante and makes like the consequences and her psychoticness worse and even more. So it's like it adds something to it. So even though she's stalking you and you're running away from her, that's the anxiety and the tension behind it is amped up as opposed to you're getting bored with it. You know what I'm saying? But I still think it was a really poor decision for me to jump in front of her. If it was something else, we were fighting and wrestling, and like the way he moved his arm, you ended up in front of him or something, and it was an accident on everybody's part. Okay. But I guess that would have been like, really? Seriously? Any way they do it, it's going to come out kind of stupid. But like, whatever. I just think it's a poor choice to be like, you can't hurt anyone. So you saved Reika? You know, like, girl, you need your head checked. I mean, to be fair, you probably smashed it on the cement and after you got hit by a car. Probably off the bumper of the car and then on the cement. So I get it. You got some brain damage here, but like, the fuck? You know? Just doesn't make sense. But I fell deeper and deeper. Unlike the white world I saw before, this place was the absence of light. Where am I? I could see nothing. I could hear nothing. I was encapsulated by total and complete darkness. What'd you peep in for? Then, a thud. I felt a sharp pain running down my neck. It hurt. Oh, it hurts. It's agonizing. The wound seemed to burn as though it would catch fire at any minute. In contrast, I felt the rest of my body grow cold, starting at the tips of my fingers. I wonder, though, if this is going to be like, we're dead now, and then because you know what I mean? Like, in Sena's route, we went back to the world of the living, and then we basically ended up in the mirror so we could see Sena, and then we died. You know what I mean? But I wonder, like, but if they, like, now we're actually dead because he kills us, that'd be kind of interesting. Then I'll be like, all right, I mean, I still think it was stupid for us to try to protect Reika, but like, in the guise that we're protecting Koyo from killing someone, like, whatever. But then we're dead at least, so we get to stay with our ghost boyfriend. And then it's like, you know, that'd be kind of interesting. Okay, all right, we'll see. It must be dead. Well, we can only hope. It feels so awful saying that every time because in my brain I'm like, well, no, because like if I were running around as a ghost, I would miss all my I'd want to come back to life. Like I would not want to die. Like, you know what I mean? I am not in a place where I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do if it's your time, it's your time. But like, if you're given the choice right now, oh, I could be a living ghost. No. I'd rather be alive playing my games, even if it means I have to go to work. It does suck, but like, whatever. But like, so I feel really weird every time playing this game. I'm like, we can only hope I'm dead. That is not the juju I want to send out into the universe right now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it feels weird. You're like, universe, you know, I'm just playing a game and it's not real, right? Okay, don't take my words at face value. Like, I don't know. I don't know who's saying. Maybe it's Koyo. You dying would be a real problem. Who? Figures. As soon as I get close to you, something like this happens. Hearing a voice whisper to me in the darkness, I open my eyes. It's not really in my nature to do this kind of thing, but I guess I have no choice. I have to keep you alive. No, this sounds more like Seiya then. Otherwise, what's the point? I need your soul. Huh. As he spoke, that sounds more like... I was like... Well, who is this? Your dying would be a real problem. Huh. It figures as soon as I get close to you, something like this happens. It's not really in my nature to do this kind of thing, but I guess I have no choice. I have to keep you alive. Otherwise, what's the point? I need your soul. Okay, it could also be the god, but why does the god need our soul? That seems weird. But this sounds like it would be more like Seiya saying all of that. Because he's the one that's trying to bring us back. At first, it sounds like it would be something, figures as soon as I get close to you, you die, like Koyo saying that. But then this seems more like, I'm not sure. Anyway, as he spoke, whoever it is, I thought I saw something come from out of the darkness. Spacey? Spacey! Sis? Is that you? Finally opening your eyes. You were totally asleep. Don't try and deny it. Staring at my sister's face, I blinked several times in confusion. The smell of dinner cooking wafted through the living room. My sister was sitting on the couch and called out to my mother, who was washing the dishes. Mom, I told you, didn't I? These office romance dramas always put her to sleep. I guess you two aren't ready for those nuanced, complicated adult romances yet. Seeing my family smiling back at me, I was at a total loss for words. I'd seen scenes like this one that played out before my eyes countless times before. He's trying to make you, I'm assuming it's Saya then, but trying to make you remember. When my school was done and work was over, my sister teasing me, my mother correcting her, and I'd be somewhere in the middle. It was just another normal day trying to get you to fight. And yet, for me, the scene that unfolded before me seemed oddly distant. I want to go home. The whisper escaped my lips. I want to live. As I spoke, I felt the chill that had been crawling its way up me slowly start to fade. Feeling dizzy, I opened and closed my eyes. I was thrown off balance in a mysterious place, and then the spirit who boshed me in the skull and made me forget everything asked me what world I think I belong to, and if I think I know. But this is like the beginning of Amnesia Memories right here, is all I'm saying. With the swirly twirly background of outer space, and it's like, I'm just saying, I just feel like we stepped into the wrong game. Oh. That looks like Minami. With the little ears and little fangs. I don't 100% know, but he's shrouded in darkness. Because he's got like little or is that our god friend? I don't know. So I'm just going to read it normal because I'm not 100% sure who it is. It does to me strike me more like Minami, but because he's got the short hair, and I think our little, I can't quite remember. I thought he's got bigger hair. Anyway, that's right. You have to live for me. For you? My throat felt blocked and I couldn't speak. However, it seemed that the owner of that voice understood me anyway. I've been watching you, you know. Oh, yeah, no, it's Minami. Because he's an incubus. I know that. Okay. I don't know a voice to give him. I wasn't expecting him to show up this soon. Because he's kind of cutesy and adorable, even though he's supposed to be like, you know, an incubus Wait a minute. You know what I... It's Nobuhiko Okamoto, you know, but like that doesn't mean he's doing his sexy. You cannot with this character. He's too adorable. I don't know. Well, we can't give him the voice we were giving the evil the god that threw me in front of a bus. But I don't think I don't know. I had a voice in my head for him, but now that I'm here, I don't know. We'll have to work something in. Because, like, he looks... It's so hard! It's so hard the first time a character shows up, because you're like... I have to try to figure out... He does look like he'd have the like, another cutesy voice, but I can't quite, like... Now my brain can't process the voice that I want to give him. That's like the... Well, like, you know, the typical fun dude voice, but, like, I don't know if that's necessarily him. I don't think that's going to work for him. But you know what? We'll do that for now until we get more into his route and I see him better. Because right now he's a shadow and I only have like one fucking picture to go on. So I've been watching you, you know. I'm an incubus. Or to put it simply, a demon. Or maybe you can have sort of that, but with a little bit... Okay, wait, we'll work on it. A demon? You're in hell, you know. A place where no god can reach you. Hell. Look at his fucking creepy little mouth. Oh, that's right. Say it said something about going down to hell. Having you come down here, it's like some kind of dream for me. I never thought you'd actually come here. Cloaked in a thick and oppressive air, I felt the shadow creep closer to me. Wake up, please. Koyo? Shh. Oh, wait, was that Koyo that just said that? Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, because it said incubus above his name anyway. Wake up, please. Shh. Yeah, I guess we're out of time. I'll meet you again in your dreams, Spacey. Many times until you come down here to meet me. A breeze carrying the scent of flowers blew away the shadow in front of me. At the same time, I felt the kind warmth of an outstretched hand, and a soft light dispelled the darkness. I could feel my closed eyes twitch. Tears began to fall from my eyes as I slowly opened them to the bright world. Well, so I like that, though, because, like, yes, you would, I mean, we've already met Seiya, but you've never met Minami before until, like, now, and now you're meeting him. Would you have to go? I'm sorry. I know. Hold on. Let me get the bird a break before we, like, oh, they're falling from my eyes. I thought tears fell from his eyes, and I was like, oh, no, it's mine. Whatever. But I think it's interesting that we're introducing him now, and then he's acting like, oh, it's okay. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm tangled up in my headset. That's why I had to switch hands. You go potties for me, please? Good birdie. You're doing good. Oh, okay. I was trying. That was the bird smacking into my headset with his wings. I was trying to give some birdie brat face a kisses. I was going to give you kisses, and then you were like, fuck that. I'm going to jump on your shoulder. And then he smacked into my microphone. Sorry. Anyway. All right. Now, can you settle down for the next, 15 minutes? 20 minutes? Tears began to fall from my eyes as I slowly opened them to the bright world. Spacey! Right in front of me, so close that our noses nearly touched, was Koyo with teary eyes. No. I didn't know what exactly was going on. Seiya, come quickly! Good morning, Spacey. How are you feeling? Hearing a voice call out to me from the side, I took in my surroundings. I was surrounded by stained glass windows. It looked like a very ancient place. I was laying on a couch with dozens of white flower petals all around me. The wound seems to have healed nicely. I suppose the Khalifa flowers did the trick. I'm quite relieved. Khalifa flowers? Well, I don't think the Khalifa flowers had anything to do with you waking up. As with Sleeping Beauty, I believe we have Prince Charming's kiss to thank for that. How envious I am of him. I mean, I am also envious because we didn't get to experience that or see it in a CG. All I did was touch my lips to the back of her hand. With an awkward look, Koyo quickly released my hand and avoided my eyes. Aww! Still adorable, and he's being so cute. Sorry, I kind of took the liberty of doing that on my own. But Seiya said it'd be the best way to wake you up. Don't worry about it. I was just a little surprised, that's all. That's what I intended to tell him, but I quickly realized something was off. My voice... I can't... What is it? You keep moving your mouth, but... Don't tell me... You can't talk? I nodded in affirmation, and Koyo gasped. The place the knife cut. It was around her neck, right? That knife had the power to destroy the spirit. No doubt that's the cause of this. We're lucky it didn't pierce through to the soul, but for now, it seems to have taken her voice. This is absolutely the Little Mermaid over here. You said Sleeping Beauty, but it's a Little Mermaid going on. Koyo merely stood there, horrified, and I stretched out my hand to tell him it was all right. Seiya then took out a pen and notepad and handed both over to me. And I looked at them like, what am I supposed to do with this shit? I didn't mention it before, but this is hell. One of the worlds the spirit can go to after death. It's a realm for the dead, but as a living ghost, you too can dwell here. I had a feeling, so this is hell. Frightfully, I took the pen and paper, scribbling out a message. What is this building? This is a building managed by H.O. Here, we deliver punishment to those who committed grave sins in life. The Hell Organization? Simply put, this is my office. H.O.? I wasn't sure exactly what it meant, but at least I knew it was the organization Saya belonged to. He said his title was Grand Warder, but HO must be the organization he works for. With that, I wrote my next question down on the piece of paper, and we'll get find out more in his route, so we don't need too many details. Oh, look at his little beaming smile. Is my loss of voice temporary? I'm afraid your situation is quite rare. I can't say for sure either way. Seeing as your physical organs were not damaged, it's possible your voice will return in time. So in theory, it will likely come back. I'm so glad to hear there's a chance. I turned to Koyo and poked him on the shoulder before scribbling down a message for him. How dare you, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding. There's a chance it'll come back. Don't worry so much. Let's keep going forward. I absolutely, anyway. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking how much I love Sayo when he's standing right here. And I just keep thinking, I'm jealous. All the jealous things. It's like, and then Minami's over here I'm glad you're here. I've been waiting for you. And it's like, I don't know. And then I don't know. Everybody in hell seems to want to get their hands all over me, which I'm not opposed to. But also, Minami's going to be a little spicy. There's no way. You're an incubus demon, which means you're a sex demon. So, you're going to try to tell me you're not going to try to kiss me 5 billion times? I'm just saying. Without waiting for my reply, he left the room. I was about to chase after him, but looked over to Saya first. Yes, go ahead. He seemed to have guessed my intention and plucked a white petal from the sofa. As long as you stay within the confines of the building, you should be all right. But just in case, take this. Just what are these things? Khalifa flower petals. He fucking told you. I know what she means, but... Tilting my head inquisitively, Saya began to explain. These are petals of the Khalifa flower, said to have the power to purify the soul and ward off evil. Your wounds were healed thanks to the power of this flower, which blooms only in hell. Think of it as a kind of charm. Keep it with you at all times. Now that I understood, I gratefully took the flower petal from him. And this place is home to far more than just spirits of the dead. There are what you might call demons, capable of stealing your soul. You must be careful. Demons? I quickly began scribbling with my pen. When I was sleeping before, I met a demon called an incubus. I wrote down the contents of the dream with my pen and watched his face grow more and more stern. An incubus. Minami. On the route from Kisaragi. On the route from Kisaragi Station. Did our transporting of a member of the living leak out? Listen very carefully. An incubus is a demon that appears in dreams. Through your dreams, it may try to negotiate with you. If you accept its offer, it will take your soul. In order to avoid that, you must stand firm with a strong heart. With a strong heart, you can overcome it, but you must not listen to what it tells you. Understood? Incubus, a devil that tries to toy with its victim's heart in their dreams. Those targeted must keep a strong heart and never listen to an incubus. I kind of have the feeling that, Saya does not... he doesn't seem to like Minami that much. He's like, that bastard? As I nodded yes, I continued to think. It was true that in the dream, I got a very negative feeling from the incubus, but the dream he showed me was a loving memory with my family. Had it not been for that memory, I might never have woken up. Thinking of things that way left me with a complicated feeling. Don't trust it. Unable to speak, I bowed deeply with gratitude and left the room. Now, maybe if you weren't in love with Koyo, you'd be like, whatever! You know what I mean? And if Saya showed up in my dreams and was like, come on, I'll take your soul and give you... And then I might actually be like, all right. But but we're in love with Koyo, so we're not going to be tempted. Just saying. Did I just read that last line? I don't know if I just clicked it and didn't. Yeah, unable to speak, I bowed deeply with gratitude and left the room. Okay. When I heard this was part of hell, I didn't know what I was expecting. Just like the room I was in before, as I walked down the hall, I discovered a place far more peaceful than I had imagined. It looks almost medieval or fantasy-like, nothing like the architecture back home in Japan. Unlike my image of hell, I found everything to be rather clean and tidy. This certainly is a large building. Well, they're not going to keep, like, where they work gross. They're just going to keep where they torture your soul gross. You know what I mean? Like, just because I work in hell doesn't mean I want to be surrounded by filth and disgusting. Like, that's for the souls I'm torturing. You know what I'm saying? Right? This certainly is a large building. I started to look around. I found a large tree towering in the center of the courtyard, bathed in the red light of the sky. There I spied Koyo, his head drooping low with obvious regret. This poor thing. Koyo. As I approached him, a familiar scent tickled my nose, causing me to stop. That smell, it's the same as the Khalifa petals from earlier. The tree in the center of the courtyard must be the Khalifa tree. I glanced at the tree's multiple branches and blossoming flowers before sitting down next to Koyo. Koyo didn't raise his gaze to meet mine. He just continued to stare at the ground. I peeked over at him to try and get him to look at me, but he merely averted his eyes. The best thing to do would be pinch his cheek, hold his hand. Hold his hand. I want to hold his hand. Nope, it's pinch his cheek. God damn it. I wanted to hold his hand, but no doubt he feels very guilty for the harm he caused me, but, well, maybe pinching his cheek is more, like, instead of holding his hand is like, it's okay. And pinching his cheek is like, boop, hey, don't be don't be sad. You know what I mean? It's a little more goofy, you know? That was all the more reason for him to talk to me. I reached my hand out to his face. Then I pinched his cheeks with all my might. He turned to look at me with surprise, and I smiled back at him. Finally, he looked me in the eyes. Even though I couldn't speak, I was still able to get my feelings across to him. It's not fair of you to play cute at a time like this. Cute? The words were so out of character for him, and I relaxed my pinching fingers, pulling away. Seeming not to notice, Koyo sighed before turning his gaze back to the red sky above. Thanks for still treating me the same after everything. I'm really sorry for getting you wrapped up in all my problems. I even hurt you in the process. I'm so sorry. I shook my head back and forth before taking out the pen and notepad from my pocket. No, I'm the one who jumped in the middle. I don't know why, but in that moment, I knew I had to stop you. I stopped writing and thought carefully about the right words to say. I want to know more about you. I want to be involved. You mean, you want to hear about Reika? I slowly nodded. Koyo looked back at me, flashing the same sarcastic smile he always had. Oh, we're going to get, like, the little flashback segment. Okay, yeah, we get these. And okay. He looked so different than he did when he was staring at Reika. His eyes filled with hate. Okay. He looked so different than he did when he was staring at Reika. His eyes filled with hate. I wanted to know what could have possibly happened to make him hate her so much. She murdered him. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but that should be enough. Since he had stubbornly refused to let me in so far, I was worried he wouldn't answer. Koyo let out a deep sigh and narrowed his eyes as he spoke to me. It's not going to be a fun story to listen to. You okay with that? I nodded back at him, and Koyo began to speak slowly. Yeah, this kind of little... Okay, we're not there yet. I didn't expect to say this. Oh no, this is different. They usually have, like, the little thing in the center, and then, like, it has the lines go down the middle. You know what I mean? Like we did with Sena, and we did that with the other ones, but I was always different than the other kids. I noticed it from a young age, just as I was starting to become aware of the world around me. You know, some kids are born with great eyesight or great hearing, some kind of unique trait. Well, I learned pretty quickly that I was able to sense things others couldn't. Hey, Mom! Who's that kid over there? No, over there, the one's playing on the swing. The boy who's got the red ring around his neck. Oh, like someone choked that kid? Oh, here we go, this is what I was thinking, yeah. I had a kind of spiritual sense. I got weaker as I got older, but when I was a kid, I was able to see things that others couldn't. As the kid who was always talking about seeing ghosts, I didn't fit in well with others. You should have been friends with Sayaka. It's a shame you didn't grow up around the same time. You guys would have been besties. She can't have my man, but I'm just saying, they could have been best friends. Even my own parents would look at me skeptically when I started talking about the strange things I saw. So, the only person that believed me was Sena. Okay, Koyo is the Sayaka to our Sena. Wait. We and... You know what I'm trying to say, but my brain can't figure it out. But, like, Koyo and Sayaka, Sena and me. Koyo is Sena's Sayaka. There you go. Yeah. Koyo is Sena's Sayaka. Wait, yeah, no. It was, Koyo is the Sayaka to Sena's me. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to originally get to, but that's basically it. Like, that's actually kind of cute that they paralleled it a little bit. Actually, there was one other person, a teacher at the daycare I went to, and that teacher was a weird person. He wouldn't correct me or tell me to just be normal like the other teachers did. Even when I talked about the ghosts I saw, he never once looked at me skeptically. It's just a shame I can't see the ghosts with you. Oh, it's just a shame I can't see the ghosts with you. But it's a big world out there. I'm sure there are lots of people who can see spirits like you do. That's right, Koyo. There are all kinds of people who like ghost stories and things like that. So don't worry so much about it. I'm sure you'll find someone like you someday. That's right. Oh, that's right. If only there was a place where everyone would believe you. Yeah, that would be great. I'll help you look for a place like that, Koyo. And the two of them took me seriously. They didn't say I was lying. That alone filled me with joy, and I began searching for a place where others would believe me. And I finally found it. A place where I could talk, where others would listen without cynicism or disbelief. The internet? I found it as a streamer. I mean, I get it because it's like, you, when you're streaming or you have your YouTube channel or whatever, more people, like, especially if you talk about hauntings or things like that, you know, people who are interested in those things are going to find your channel, are going to find that interested in, and you know what I mean? Like, you're going to find more like-minded people than just in your tiny little town, right? But it's just so funny to be like, I found a place where other people would believe me, the internet. Because everything on the internet is always true. It's just kind of funny. I get what he means, but it just, at first you're like, all right. It's like, you find like-minded people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody in my real life, like, that I talk to and that plays Otome games or The Sims. You know what I mean? And my sister plays The Sims, actually, to be fair. And my niece did for a while. But they play The Sims 3 mostly because my sister doesn't want to have to update all of her mods and shit like that every single time Sims 4 patches. And I get that. But you know what I mean? Like, so, like, I've been on, like, trips with my sister and I talking about our Sims or whatever and stuff like that. So, like, sort of, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, but... And nobody else really does that. So unless I'm talking to my sister, like, nobody understands The Sims or Otome games especially, right? You know what I mean? So, like, experiencing these games and playing them, that's also part of why, again, I've said it a million times, like, I wouldn't have, like, I'd play them by myself if we didn't have this channel, but that would be depressing, and I've already gone through that where I'm like, I would not, I mean, I've said it, I would not play half as many because it would take me forever to finish them, and my enjoyment is sharing it with you guys, and even though you're not here talking back to me because I'm not streaming it, because again, that would give me anxiety, I swear. I'd be like, no, there's too much, I don't think I can manage it because there's too much stuff to manage. You'd have to have someone else helping you, or like moderators and all that, and it's like, that's just too much to juggle. I don't want to be responsible for that, I'm too lazy. You know what I mean? But like, sharing my news and knowing that, like, even if we're not directly speaking back and forth, or you're just answering questions and comments to yourself and not actually leaving comments, because that's what I do. So fair. I see you guys if you're just lurking, because I'm a lurker. I watch things and I'm like, yes, that, right, oh my god. And I rarely leave comments on videos that I watch. You know what I mean? So, like, totally valid. You know what I mean? But even if like, I feel like there's people like me out there who are watching this and being like, yes, oh my God, yeah, or oh my God, I didn't think of that, or yeah, you know what, that was my favorite part too. Where you're talking back to me while you watch this, however you watch it on your TV, on your phone, on your computer, whatever, and like, you know what I mean? So like, even though we're not directly communicating, we're communicating in a weird way, and that's, you know, enough. And I kind of get what he's saying. Like, you find your community that way, you know? So, and like, he's been around people, and there's only that teacher and Sena that kind of believe him. So finding out there's more people out there so he doesn't feel invalid or weird. I get it, you know? Anyway, he found it as a streamer. I started streaming back in junior high. That's adorable. I figured if there were others like me, they might see my stream and respond to it. At first, I started by telling my stories and replying to people who left comments on my channel. Things started out simple, but I got more creative, planning things out. And the more I worked at it, the more people began subscribing to my channel. And not only that, but I also started to enjoy it. I mean, that's an important part of having a channel, is enjoying it. And that's when it started. As I did my streams, people watching would send me gifts or tips, and that was how I made money. Imagine making money off this! That's the most unrealistic part of this whole game. I know that there are people who make money off YouTube and streaming, but I still find that the most far-fetched part of this whole entire thing. I'd always get a fair amount of tips, but there was one viewer in particular who'd send me a ton of money. Reika. Reika, thanks for always watching out for me. Reika was one of my most avid viewers. It didn't matter if I was streaming early in the morning or late at night. She was always watching. That's creepy. That makes me feel... Okay, just FYI. Just FYI. If you're always watching, you're not Reika, you're not creepy. Don't worry about it. But it's just like, it's the way he's wording it, like, she was always watching, and you're like, that is really creepy. Actually, no, because, like, think about the things, like, I think about the channels that I watch. I always watch a majority of the stuff that they upload, or if I like streaming, like, you know, I'll always try to catch the thing. You know what I mean? So, like, I get it, but... You know, you're building up like, oh yeah, they're always hanging out. She's always there. It's the constantly sending a fuck ton of money too. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to tip this person because I watch them a lot. So here's like $5. Or they started a new game and like whatever. You know what I mean? It's like she's always sending money. That's a little much. You know what I mean? I vividly remember she'd always send positive comments and feedback. Well, I mean, you do that with people you like. You know what I mean? You're not usually a dick to them, so fair. But once the number of subscribers started to grow, Reika began sending me DMs on my various social accounts. That's where it gets weird. Don't do that. Oh, your voice sounded a little dry today. I don't think that humidifier is working. The one that's always behind you on video. I bought the same cute little sheep stuffed animal that you have in your room. I uploaded it to my page. Be sure to look at it. You posted a picture of your hometown on your page. That's Narimigahama, right? She could figure out the stuff in my room, like the brand of my computer, just by seeing them for a split second. No, it's not because she saw it for a split second. It's because she paused that split second and analyzed it and was psycho. That's a lot. It's one thing if you're seeing someone stream and they got a camera and you can see their background, because like who doesn't? When you watch anyone who does face cam, that you're not like poking around, you're like, oh. You're like checking out the shit in the background. Unless they are the boring ass motherfuckers who everything is white. Or they do a green screen where you just can't. You just see them. You know what I mean? So they don't interrupt the game. But if they just have a normal square or rectangle and it's not a fake background, it's their actual like office or whatever, you're always checking out the background. You're always like, you know, if you're paying attention and not like doing 5 other things like most of us do, right? If I had a webcam and I would never fucking do that though, because like, dear God, I'd have to put a face on and give a shit and not look like a hobo every day. No. But like, first of all, that would get in the way of all the CGs and everything. That'd be annoying. But like, if I did and I had my background, you know damn well, you know, I'll be like, oh my God, I saw that in the background. There'd be so much fucking. Actually, where mine is, there'd be really not good. I'd have to turn my chair around and do the face and like move things around so you could see my actual like loft area with all the, but you'd have so much motherfucking shit to look at. You know damn well you'd be finding something new every time. Because all my anime merch and Atome merch and all sorts of shits all over the walls, like, do you know damn well I'd be doing the same thing watching someone's like, oh my god, look at that little thing in the background. So like, I can't begrudge Reika doing that. Like, oh, I saw this in the background. I saw that in the background. It's like a fucking, like, I Spy or Where's Waldo. You know what I mean? Like, you're poking out people's backgrounds. Like, fair enough. Buying everything and knowing everything, and that's a little creepy, though. Like, she's crossing the line, to be fair. Anyway, at first I just thought she was very observant. Or just, you know, really likes I Spy games where you're like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Oh, look at their wallpaper. You know what? You know, until that one day. Huh? What's this? I didn't order anything. Look at his little house. Look at his little apartment. What is she possibly looking at behind him? He's got nothing on the walls. Well, we don't know what's behind the desk, but... One day a small package was delivered directly to my house. As I picked it up, a sweet fragrance filled the room, and I found a cute white box inside. I tilted my head with curiosity as I opened it, wondering if I was sent something by mistake. Did she send him a lock of her hair? Huh? Inside was a piece of long hair tied up with a ribbon. Oh my god! Girl, no! I was like, did she send him chocolates and shit? Because that's weird. I mean, obviously stalkerish because she found out where he lived, but there was also a small card with glittering letters inside. Oh, sure, make all the rest of us who have glitter pens and would write in glitter pens look like psychos. Happy birthday, Yozora! I was a little reluctant to cut my hair, but when I realized it was for you, I could do it. So you sent this man hair for his birthday? Girl, this is amazingly crazy. Now you can always feel me. Ew! Oh, guys! What the fuck? We're gonna go a little over because we gotta finish. We're already a little over. Okay, sorry, but the moment I saw it, I felt sick and struggled to control my nausea. I had grown a tolerance for visions of the supernatural and the dead. I'd have never thought a gift from the living would make me so distressed. What is this? I knew I hadn't slipped up and made my address public. I went to the same convenience store and bought the same cream puff you did. I went to the store 30 minutes after you. I could still smell your scent there. Oh my god. Rega's DMs were slowly getting darker and darker. Yeah. After that, I got scared and decided to move out. But... oh. In my haste to find a new place to live, I made the mistake of taking a few days off from streaming. So she stalked you. She would know. And then a few days after I decided to move, I was organizing my belongings when... I opened the door to pick up the cardboard boxes I had ordered to pack everything. Finally, we can meet each other, Yozora! There she stood. The same strange, sweet smell wafted off of her. The strange colored hair. She didn't have to tell me her name. I knew this was Reika. I was so frightened and disturbed I tried to slam the door shut on her. But my foot was still in the door when I slammed it and I heard the snap of a bone. You're so shy. You must be nervous about us meeting for the first time. She kept smiling and stepped into the room. Clean as always, but it feels a little barren in here. Oh, I know. How about we make a little showcase? We'll put both our shoes in the entrance. We can even match the colors. Get out. Get out right now. Huh? I thought maybe you caught a cold, so I came to make some rice porridge for you. So what'll it be? Pickled plum or egg porridge? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? You can't just barge into someone's house you've never met. Huh? But we've always been together. What? True, we never specifically said we were dating or anything, but we didn't need to. You read all my comments and messages. I could tell it was way different than with the others. The others? Because she stalked other people. I'm assuming she means the way he's reading other people's comments. Like, but like, it's the thing. So like, if you start streaming and then you have someone that's there and you're like, oh, hey, this person, I see you all the time. Yeah, whatever. You start to rag it, like, but like, so like, but that doesn't, but like, yeah, you're like, I've been here for the beginning. Like, and you know, but like, that doesn't, so they'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember Reika. She's one of the people that supported me the longest. That doesn't mean that he's in love with you, girl. Girl! Don't get me. Oh my god, guys. Guys! Your expression was always so calm and gentle. I could tell you really, really liked me. Yeah, she crazy. I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what she was thinking, saying, or feeling. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't feel that way about you. If anything, you're actually kind of a problem. Actually, I stopped reading your comments. Didn't you realize that? It's because it would be trouble if the other viewers found out about our relationship, about the relationship we have. I wouldn't want you getting wrapped up with other girls, but if it's camouflage to protect our relationship, Rika understands. I know you're just being harsh to hide your embarrassment. I know deep down you love Reika. The fact that, again, she keeps talking about herself in the third person is so fucking creepy. My words wouldn't reach her. I couldn't even communicate with her. It was almost like the person in front of me wasn't even human. Before I knew it, my phone was in my hand calling 911. Yes, hello? There's a woman I don't know in my house. Please send help right away. Hey! What are you seeing? What do you mean a woman you don't know? You thanked me for watching out for you. You thanked me by name. No, that was just on the stream. Yeah. I felt a burning sensation in my stomach. The whole world in front of me turned red. Then why is his bruise on his arm? As my consciousness began to fade, I saw Reika standing there with a knife in her hand. You... Yuzura, please wake up! Please go back to your normal self! What? In the darkness, I heard Reika whisper in my ear. Then... I lost consciousness. I tried desperately to hold on, but what waited for me was even more hell. I woke up to flames licking at my cheeks and smoke rising above me. I heard the blaring sound of the fire alarm. In a room engulfed in flames, Reika was lying next to me. She too was bleeding from her stomach and held my hand firmly in hers. So she thought she killed him, so she killed herself and set the place on fire. Yuzura. Look. My stomach is the same as yours. Oh my god, she didn't just stab him, she lit the place on fire. Yeah, we'll go where nobody can bother us. We will be together forever. Huh? I thought of how we could be together forever. Look. We'll melt together like ice cream. We'll be one. Stop it. And get away from me. I fought desperately. I shook off her hand and crawled out of the house with all the strength I had left. When she stabbed herself, Rika's wound was a lot deeper than mine, and so she wasn't able to chase after me. There's no point escaping, Yozora. Her voice followed me like the flames. Wherever you go, I'll follow you. I can still hear her saying those words. They haunt me like the curse they are. And that's all I remember. The pen I was holding slipped out of my hand and fell to the floor with a clank. Koyo laughed to himself and picked it up off the ground. Okay, she stabbed him in the stomach, but why does... Okay, everybody else's, like, floral bruise kind of is how they died. His is not, so that's interesting. Well, I had a feeling you'd react like that. You're the first one I've told about all this. As Koyo told me about his past, I listened to him silently, unable to say anything. Seeing as he was a ghost, I knew that he had died somehow. But the reality was far worse than anything I could have imagined, especially because the only person you'd be able to tell is Sena, whether Sena died before you or after. But it doesn't really matter because Sena doesn't remember that he's dead, so it's not like you could explain to him how you died or share the story with him because that would fucking fuck him up. You know what I mean? I never would have thought he had such a painful past to deal with. What about Sena? I picked up the pen and scribbled out the words on the notepad Saya gave me. Now this is where we find out if he died first? About the stalking stuff? I thought about bringing it up to him, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. At the time, he had his own troubles to think about. Ah, right. Sena had been in the hospital from the time his illness was discovered to his death. Given the circumstances, it would have been difficult for Koyo to complain about his own problems. So they probably died around the same time. Sena's in the hospital, Koyo's getting stalked. He's been carrying this with him the whole time? After I became a ghost, it was all I could think about. Just what was Reika thinking? Why did she do that? And no matter how much I thought back on it, it still never made sense. My hatred and resentment toward her only grew. So I chose to look for Reika. I wanted to kill her. But everywhere I looked, I couldn't find her. That's when I heard a rumor that those who committed crimes in life were sent to hell afterwards. So I decided to wait for her to get out. I wanted to be there when she was released. Thinking back on the confrontation with Reika, I felt my chest begin to ache. It had been the revenge Koyo was planning. I'd stopped the blow that was meant for her with my own body. Yeah, dumbass! I did something I shouldn't have. Yeah, dumbass! If I didn't get in the way. Yeah, dumbass! Maybe it could have given him the closure he needed to face his regrets and cross over. Well, we don't really want that, so... Slowly, I wrote my feelings down in the notebook. I'm sorry. I put this wave of complicated feelings down into that single phrase. And then, in an instant... See? His is on his arm. Look at him hugging us, though, in the CG. So it's a good thing we went a little over. The CG's cute. I was going to stop, like, right when he was like, that's all I remember. I was going to be like, we'll do... But, like, no, it's okay. We'll go a little long. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I'm sorry for what I did to you. And thank you. It's thanks to you I realized I was about to do something truly terrible. Something terrible? If I had killed Reika, I may have been free from her for a moment. But I've always been haunted by what I did to her. The tone of his voice was free from the vengeance it once contained and seemed strangely calm. Okay, so I mean, there was a purpose for the game being like, we're going to have you jump in the way like an idiot. But I still think it seemed a little out of character for us to jump in the way. It'd be different if we were trying to stop him and instead of lunging in the way on purpose to stop him, like, we got flung in the way and then it was like just a weird circumstantial accident as we were trying to stop him and then like, shit, okay. I think even though it would have been like, okay, sure, convenient that we magically got thrown in the way and stabbed in the throat, it still would have felt a little bit better than us being like, no, don't kill Reika, let me jump in front and protect her. The fuck? I mean, I get where you're going with it, but I still feel like you could have done that just slightly differently to make it a little more in character and seem a little less stupid. Because it still is like, I still question how you work that out. To get that to happen, I feel like there's another way you could have done it. You know what I mean? But anyway, I may never be able to forgive her, but crushing her soul would have been wrong. She should serve the rest of her sentence in hell. That's what I hope for. Good. When I found out she'd been let out of hell and returned to this world, well, this world not exactly, we're in hell right now, so I was consumed with hatred. But my thoughts were filled with more than just a desire to kill her. I didn't want to get you wrapped up in my revenge, and I was constantly worried about you getting hurt. Instead of just trying to kill her right away, I started thinking about how to protect you. I guess that's just how important you are to me. You're important to me, too. That's why I jumped in when I did. I'd made the decision in an instant, but I still knew why I did it. As he pulled himself away from me, he kept his eyes on me. As for what comes next, I was going to talk to Saya. But I promise, by the time you wake up, we'll get your voice back. His words brought me back to reality, and I cast my eyes to the ground. That's right. We've got more problems than just Reika to worry about. And when I do wake up, what would that mean for Koyo? We can talk to him on the phone. You got people waiting for you. You can't stay like this forever. In that moment, I was glad I couldn't speak. If I did, I knew that all that would escape my lips were cries. I'll leave what happens to Reika to Seiya. Engaging with her will only give her exactly what she wants. I mean, you saw how happy she looked when I told her I was gonna kill her. Yeah, that's true. When I jumped in front of the knife, the look on Reika's face was not one of surprise at what I'd done or relief she wasn't hurt. It was a look of pure jealousy. Her face seemed to say, I should have been the one to die. And we need to wrap this scene up, guys. Jesus Christ. I just can't understand her. She not only wanted Koyo's affection, but his negative emotions too. There we go. Okay, I was like, can we wrap this scene up, though? Like, Jesus Christ. I know, because I kind of ramble when we were talking about stuff, so I'm like, okay, it's going to go a little over, but it's been like 20 minutes. Like, we're not doing a 2-hour part, but like, I probably should have, when he came out, been like, cock block us a little bit. It was only a few extra minutes, so whatever. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.